Hey everyone. It's been a while since I've gone live on Facebook because I'm doing most of my live stuff on YouTube. But I'll download this later and put it on YouTube. But I thought I would come live here and tell you about the virtual card retreat. So the virtual card retreat was hosted by Stampin' Up. It is still available. It's $165, which was a significant investment, and I was super curious to see how it was going to go. It's the first time that they've ever done one of these. Last summer, they did a virtual album retreat for scrapbooking that they had brought over from Close to My Heart, the style of it. And that one, you got 12 two-page layouts, so like an entire year's worth of scrapbook pages. I think it was 250. But like, I could see the value on that. I was having a hard time with the card retreat. You make 15 cards. You did get like a stamp set. But anyway, so now that I've done all the cards, I want to show them to you and I want to kind of talk about the value. So what I didn't realize was that we got a exclusive stamp set, which is this one. So this is the virtual card making retreat exclusive stamp set. So you can't get this stamp set any other way. And I really like it. I don't love florals, but these open florals were a lot of fun to play with. And these are some really practical sentiments, and I really like the fonts. What's interesting about it is they designed this to go with the bundle that they featured in the retreat. This bundle, Forever Florals, will be available to all customers in March. Right now it's on pre-order for demonstrators. So Forever Florals was what they actually started with, and they said, okay, we want to design a stamp set that goes with it that's exclusive just for the retreat. So this is a set that's in the March online exclusives. It's probably not a set I would have bought to begin with. I don't love like really detailed dies like this, but I've got a lot of good strategies for how to deal with it now based on the retreat. And I think these are okay sentiments, but these are more useful for me as a day-to-day card maker. But they match the font and made it a little more simple and a little more card friendly. And so as a set, I mean, this is a great value to have a bundle that I know is current and I'm going to be able to use going forward. And then also a really cute stamp set that I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of. And I already have. I've inked up literally every single one of these has gotten used multiple times over the weekend. I'm really glad that there's a freeze ice storm because it gave me the time to do this and to kind of get it all finished. And I didn't want to show you or talk about it until I had done the entire thing. So one of the things they have is a prep video, and the prep video has you pull out the directions for each of the cards. So each card comes with like a set of like, here's the ink you need, the card base, whatever. But then they walk you through like how to prep it so that it's all packed in your envelope. So you do get the envelopes with it, and they decorate every single envelope. They also decorate the inside of every single card, which I definitely don't do a good job of either of those. I loved this card. This was super fun. And honestly, this was probably one of the simplest cards to make. There's some stamping on these strips behind here. There's some extra color that's been added to the leaves. We did some stylus work on the little flowers, and it's a gorgeous card. It's fascinating. The amount of work that went into this is crazy. But I want to show you the paper pack that you get as well. So the prep video walks you through how to cut all the paper. And once you've cut all the paper, you still have a bunch of leftovers, which is really cool. So this is all the leftovers. And one of the things is that all of the cardstock and all of the like DSP and the two-tone in here has cut guides on the back, which is awesome because it made life a lot better. There's also a page, 2 pages actually, of these white pieces that you're going to use for stamping. And one of the cool things is on the directional pieces, they put gray on the back, like gray stripes, so that you don't stamp on that side. So they're like, hey, stamp on this side, it'll match up to the stamp, which was really cool. There's some really cool like large panels in here. There's some little tiny pieces, and there's quite a bit of leftovers. So that's really nice. Then there's some designer series paper that's exclusive, that was designed. And one of the videos, the concept artist who, actually the product designer, walks you through kind of how she designed everything and why, and kind of the full design process on this. Love this black and white. This is just the same pattern, but she took it, made it black and white, and blew it up, which I think is kind of cool. So she talked a lot about like playing with scale and what that looks like. There's a really nice bubble bath grid. There's this beautiful cloud cover kind of pattern that's nice. There's one with some old olive on it, which is really usable. Crumb cake. So you can kind of get a sense. Berry burst. There's a little bit of darling duckling, some two-tone, and we have definitely learned to like it, and I'll show you those cards. A lot of two-tone, calypso coral, petal pink, two-tone, berry burst, two-tone, bubble bath, two-tone, cloud cover, secret sea, two-tone, old olive, two-tone, lemon lime twist, two-tone, and crumb cake, two-tone, which was cool. And then this was sort of the, the letter that invited us to it and said, hey, here's what we're doing. So lots of extras to play with, and I think this would be fun to I'm probably going to take it to retreat and kind of challenge myself, in a quieter environment to play and use up the rest of this, because I think it's really fun paper, and I can't wait to play with that some more. So we also got a pack of the Moody Palette Glossy Dots, which are pretty, and so that's been fun to use those. You do need a lot of supplies for this, so if you're going to do it, the other thing I would recommend is that you just knock it out in a setting. So keep all your stamps mounted, keep all your ink and your blends close, so that you're not having to like constantly put stuff up and back and up and back. The blends were Secret Sea, Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover, Old Olive, and Calypso Coral, and then the Color Lifter, which is a fun palette and not a palette I would have put together. So that was kind of cool to think about color in different ways. And then the same thing goes, there's a lot of heat embossing, a lot of color blending, and then this is the color palette: Petal Pink, Calypso Darling, Old Olive, Lemon Lime Twist, Bubble Bath, Crumb Cake, Berry Burst, and Secret Sea, which Berry Burst is a color that I had, we've had it for a while. I love it. It's a fun color, so I'm glad I got to play with it again. Again, they do offer substitutions. Like if you don't have this, you could use this, which is great, because not everybody has all the colors of everything. The other thing they told us, which I thought was a really cool kind of inside thing, is that in the past, when they've made stamp sets, they have, when they put them on the sheet, they've kind of scrambled them up in a way. You can see it here because I now stamp this to keep track. They scramble it so they're not all directionally oriented. And what Caitlin, the product designer, said is that moving forward with this stamp set, they're going to mount them in a way that it's readable. So you can actually see what you're supposed to have, and it's like gonna like go in readable order, which is lovely. And the inside, like the actual stamps, will follow the outside. So this, see how that matches? In this one, this does not match, right? It's readable here on the outside, but not on the inside. So how they arrange them on the inside will be how they have them stamped on the outside, and they'll be in readable order, which is lovely. So I'm very excited about that. That has been something that we've been asking them to do, especially with this new packaging. Oh, and then I wanted to show you the dies because they're really nice. So there's these beautiful label dies that create an indentation, and I'll show you some of those. The really nice detail die, another one here, a couple of small flowers, and then some outline dies. So really nice die set. Forever Florals is the name of that one. So let me show you some card samples. So I'm going to say that each and every one of these is crazy advanced and crazy cool. This card is gorgeous and features 2 flip-flaps on the inside. And all of this DSP was black and white. So we colored it all, including the little dots and all the little detail pieces. And then the envelope is gorgeous as well. So again, this is definitely very advanced and not your average card. You know, sometimes I'll do like 1 wow card in a class. This is like 15 wow cards. But every single one of them had techniques and features that I've never done before, which says a lot because, you know, I've been making cards for a while. And I enjoyed them. I learned a lot, and I think that if someone's looking to learn and they're willing to like slow down and take the time, this is a great class for learning card making and coloring and design. There's a lot of design stuff here, but literally the inside and outside of every card and every envelope was decorated. I don't even know if I showed the inside of this one. Oh yeah, this one had like a big panel on the inside. Don't let me forget to show the inside of all of them. This was the Darling Duckling card, but then there's also some like dewdrops that we did on here. I've never done that before. And then the envelope fully decorated, and the inside also decorated. It was also a lot of fun to see and hear the rapport that like Sarah Douglas and Corey Hancock and Melody Hyde have. And also, this one was cool. It had a little flap that opens. And also to, you know, I kind of equated it to like a class being offered by Concept Art. Like, you know, do you want to learn how to make the samples in the catalog? Well, then this is the class, you know, because they just went above and beyond on this. So the envelope. So I learned a lot of cool techniques, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and kind of catalog all the techniques and then work on teaching them, you know, over the course of the next 6 months or so. This was wild. This is like a crazy trifold card. That had a lot of layers. Really pretty though. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited, but this is, I mean, as you can see, this is a lot. And I think, you know, if you love learning card making and you want to learn lots of techniques, and this is definitely great. So there's a video for every single card. So there's a video for the prep, And then there's a video for every single card. And they have an order that they've arranged them in, and I would highly recommend watching them in order. Ooh, I need to take that down because that's going to peel up. But this one's like a shaker card, which is super cute. And then the inside, and then the envelope. And I liked that every envelope had something different. Like maybe it had DSP, but it put it in a different place. Or maybe it had, you know, coloring, but it did it in a different place. I really love this one. If I'm going to case any of them, this is probably the one I'm going to case. Look at that. Of course, you guys, those of you that have been around for a while, you know I love masking. So I definitely enjoyed masking with this one. This was super fun. So that's one of my favoriteest techniques. And then this was the leftover piece we had. So I think I'm going to end up making a card with this piece as well. We did paper weaving. We did, I mean, I've just never done the things that we did in this one, and in a way that made it approachable and accessible. So, and then putting some DSP on the front. All right, a couple left. This one. And the envelope for that one. Like heat embossing on the envelope. Wow. Okay. That's extra. Some of these were extra. This one actually ties open, which is cute, and is a gatefold card. And all this DSP is black and white, so we're coloring all of that. I think that's extra as well. You know, for those that like coloring, it's therapeutic, you know. I'll tie that back later. And then the envelope flap also had a piece of this paper. So all in all, it's a great value. I think the... you know, I don't think that these cards are necessarily teachable in a class, especially not with beginners, maybe like a retreat or something. You wouldn't teach all 15, that's for sure. But I do think that they have the ability and the flexibility to take a lot of techniques and infuse those into our classes. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Again, the virtual card making retreat is still available. It is while supplies last. And if you get it, you get everything you need to make all the cards, lots of extras. You get this bundle is included and the stamp set. So you're already getting, I mean, die cut bundles are what, 45? A stamp set is 20 at least. I mean, so that's at least $65 in like hard product that you can reuse. You've got, you know, an embellishment pack and DSP and two-tone. I mean, that's probably another $30 worth, plus the envelopes, plus a pack of basic white. They included a full pack of basic white in there, a couple flip-flaps. So now you're up to like $90 of like hard product. And I think that the teaching definitely had value. I highly recommend it. I thought it was really great. Thank you so much, Stampin' Up, for hosting this. It was really, really fabulous. And it makes me want to dive into my virtual album retreat that I purchased and have not finished. So I think that will be next. So, which there are also still virtual album retreat packets available too. So if either one of those interests you, let me know. And remember that those purchases, if you make them with me as a customer, they qualify you for all of my free classes for the month as well. So I would highly recommend it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and checking out this review. And I hope that you had a safe and warm weekend for those of you in the ice storm path. And thanks for trusting me. Thanks for being along on the ride. All right. Bye, y'all.